RingCentral had a virtual launch event. It was billed as something you would have never seen before, brand new.
Yes. So they actually, I think this was pretty clever. So they did their launch event of their events platform on their events platform. And this events platform was actually an acquisition. It used to be Hopin Events, which actually it's also owns Hopin still has several properties, one of which is StreamYard, which is what we use for our podcast. But they acquired Hopin Events. They also acquired the whole team and all of the customers. So what the kind of period of the transition was rebranding it to RingCentral. So I think they did a really nice job of that, of keeping it within what I think the Hopin customers, the existing customers, which is thousands of customers through, I think, hundreds of countries that are used to using the events platform, keeping it familiar for them, but also making it recognizable as a RingCentral brand. They also kind of showcased all of the capabilities. So like single speaker, pre-recorded broadcast, fireside chat, live Q&A, all of the variabilities, all within this announcement, which they announced both the events platform being live as RingCentral Events. And then they also announced this RingCX, which is their AI first contact center. So it was really, I think it was a really successful event from what I can tell. One thing that I haven't seen yet is that on the platform, they do have an engagement tool where they can see how much engagement there is. So that's obviously useful for event planners and marketing folks, but it did seem a little event. So people were really reacting, a lot of chat, a lot of Q&A, especially when they announced the second part of it, which was their RingCX, which is their AI first contact center. They have had that in preview with some clients or with some customers. It's launched in the US, Canada, and UK, and France and Germany are coming right behind that. They have they announced a Fortune 500 company, they didn't say who, that has purchased over 1,000 CX licenses. And so far, they said it's like basically just flying off the shelf. They've said tremendous success. Over half of the licenses have been sold through the channel partners. So clearly, like a big channel engagement there. And as you know, they have a new CEO. And little spoiler alert, you're going to do a insider podcast with him next week. So
I know I can wait.
we can talk more about this. But he talked about just the disruptive pricing. They offer voice, video, digital channels at $65 per agent per month, and that's unlimited voice. So, there's a lot of AI capabilities and then also more to come. So I think super successful event. I was really impressed with the platform, the way that it transitioned from being able to go through like the fireside chat. They had a little pre-recorded chat with Steve Kerr. They had the live Q&A, and it was actually live because you could tell by they were answering questions that were in the chat. So I thought it was pretty impressive. I mean, the platform has been around a while, and so that's where I think you get the advantage of they didn't just acquire the platform, they acquired the team. And so the team has been able to then transition it to this new brand, but keep all the things that they know people love about it. So I thought it was good.
So, just put you on the spot. What's their value proposition versus Cisco WebEx events or Zoom events? Why do I use this?
So I think that it kind of depends on, I guess, who your customers are. I mean, I think if you doing kind of a side by side comparison, one of the things I will say that I'm not entirely sure, putting me on the spot, if they do have this capability. But if I'm comparing it directly to what I saw on Zoom events, being in a live audience, what I really like about Zoom events is that you see the people who are also on the event. And on Hopin, and I don't know if they have this capability or not, but I did not see it. You see the people's names in the chat if they're chatting, but you don't see the faces. And I
Yeah.
do like that on Zoom events, that if you want, if as a participant you want to be on, you can have your face on and like you're there, and you can kind of do that. So I'm not sure what platform they were using, but at Adobe Max, they did that, and you could see the other people. And so it really is sort of more interactive. Like you can see people's facial reactions, not just their emojis or their chat. If you're a WebEx user, you might be more prone to use WebEx events. I don't think that the experience is quite as rich. If you're neither, so if you're just a company that isn't necessarily using WebEx or using Zoom or using Teams, or you're not like a big enterprise that's using one of those things exclusively, you can use as your events platform. So you don't have to be a subscriber to RingCentral, to any of their products, in order to use this. So it's $750 a month for unlimited events up to one. Wait, let me make sure I have that right. I think up to 1,000 participants. No, sorry, up to 100 attendees for $750 a year, unlimited events. But it does support up to 100,000 participants, and the pricing obviously goes up from there. But I thought the experience was good. I do like to see people's faces, especially when you're dealing with hybrid events and you want to, kind of. There are some advantages. Like you said, you were home for a few days this week. Sometimes it's really nice to have that choice to join in and see something that is live, but be able to be from home, but be able to kind of see the audience and see reactions and all of that. So what I saw was virtual only, but they do have those hybrid experiences. So more to come on that. But that is one thing that I have seen in person, virtual, and hybrid on Zoom events. And I think they have a great experience on all three. So, more to come on what RingCentral Events can do on those. But from a purely virtual standpoint, I thought it was a really good experience.